Hey everybody, it's Barbara Ann. Happy Monday and welcome back to my channel, Straight Out of Context. If you were to ask the question, is Gypsy Rose Blanchard jealous of her half-sister Mia Blanchard, the answer would certainly be yes. Gypsy recently posted to her Instagram and her TikTok that she is going to do a 30-day social media detox. However, she recently posted this. Her and Ken holding hands. And the only reason is because her stepmother, Christy Blanchard, posted this in relation to Mia and her boyfriend, Andre, celebrating their 4-year anniversary.
For a long time, I have been very jealous of my sister. And it's stupid, but the simple fact that she grew up with our father.
Oh, just wait. It gets even deeper.
My mom always used to tell me that Christy was like the home wrecker. She's the other woman. Like she was always branded the other woman.
Right. So she didn't have her own identity. So you sort of took on what your mom felt, which, I mean, when you're young and you only have the one parent in your life, what are you supposed to know?
Exactly.
You're just going by what you're taught.
Yeah.
In the book, you talk about a half sister. But it wasn't clear if that was Mia or if there's another half sister.
I have 2 half sisters.
So you have Mia, that is Christy and Rod's, and then you have another half sister.
Yes.
And do you have a relationship with her?
We are friends on Facebook.
Okay.
So we communicate through Facebook. We have met once earlier in the year.
Okay.
We all got together and, it was great to have, like, my dad had been wanting a relationship with all 3 of his daughters.
Okay.
And so one day when I was in town, my sister Facebooked me and she's like, I'd like to meet you. And so it was great because I had me, Mia, and her there.
Right.
It was great.
And so has your dad maintained a relationship with her, or she's kind of been separate from everybody?
She's I would say she keeps her distance.
Gypsy, Mia, Dylan also have another half-sibling named Nicolette. And Nicolette was born right after Gypsy, meaning that Rod at 17 had 2 women pregnant at the same exact time. Now, Dee Dee was 23 years old when she married Rod Blanchard. However, Rod often says in documentaries and interviews that he was not in love with Dee Dee, and he woke up on his 18th birthday and told her that he wanted a divorce and that he would always be there financially and physically to help raise the child. However, he often leaves out the fact that he had another woman pregnant with his then future daughter, Nicolette. And he also leaves out the fact that his wife of over 33 years, Christy Blanchard, was actually co-workers with Dee Dee Blanchard, his then wife and Gypsy's biological mother, whose life she took.
Half-sister Mia Blanchard. The biggest twist is yet to come.
I thought it was crazy. I was mind blown. I was like, what else was she lying about?
In Lifetime's series, Season 2, Gypsy Rose, Life After Lockup, Mia Blanchard has largely kept her distance from her half-sister Gypsy Rose, leading people to speculate that there is a lot more going on behind the scenes that the public is not privy to. And it is not the standard sibling rivalry or just copycatting your sister.
We weren't that close. I mean, I have baby pictures the last time I seen her until we went visit her in prison. I've been having a picture of me and my sister in our room since like middle school. I was maybe 2. But we would call her for every holiday, her birthday and everything, and her mom would always tell us, don't tell her how old she is. She doesn't realize, like, she can't comprehend it. She thinks she's this old. We didn't think anything of it, whatever. And we'd call all the time. I'd go shopping with my dad for birthday presents, Christmas presents, talk on Facebook sometimes. But to say like we were really close and visited a lot, like that didn't really happen because her mom wouldn't allow it.
Gypsy Rose being released from prison on December 28th of 2023 not only crashed into her family's lives and dynamics, she completely flipped her family's lives upside down and has completely enmeshed them in chaos and destruction, drama ever since. And yet with every single post that Gypsy Rose does on social media, whether it be via TikTok or Instagram, fans, haters, trolls, and other content creators largely realize that she copies everything Mia Blanchard does, wears, says, or uses.
When we first found out about Gypsy and Dee Dee, we heard that Gypsy was kidnapped, everything was left, and like she didn't have her wheelchair or anything, and somebody killed Dee Dee. It wasn't until later that we found out that Gypsy was actually involved. And that's when everything started coming up about how her mom was pretending that she was sick, having surgeries that were unnecessary, medicines that were unnecessary. And that was like a big blow, because we always thought, like me, my mom, my dad, my brother, always thought like, oh, Gypsy, like she has something serious wrong with her, like all these things, like we did not think she was gonna live to be this old. So it was really shocking to find out that the only thing was wrong was her vision, and she needed glasses.
Since Gypsy's release, everything with the Blanchard family has completely gone awry, and things have been far from normal. To protect her physical, mental, emotional well-being and health, Mia Blanchard had to set very healthy, positive boundaries between her parents and Gypsy Rose Blanchard herself, even depriving her sister of being there for her college graduation. But this still doesn't stop Gypsy Rose Blanchard. She still chose to have her baby shower on the same exact weekend that Mia was celebrating her college graduation and her becoming a registered nurse. Going through school and graduating from your nursing school and getting your degree to be a registered nurse is not only a huge accomplishment, it's one that shouldn't be overshadowed by your murderous sister. And Mia Blanchard did not want her special day to be ruined, and neither did her mother, Christy Blanchard. So Gypsy was uninvited. However, in season 2 of Gypsy Rose Blanchard Life After Lockup, when this episode airs about Mia's graduation, Gypsy is pretending to have a medical crisis with her pregnancy, and that is the real reason why she's not in attendance.
That Gypsy was still married. Where's your respect for Ryan? You may not like the guy at all, but like that, for me, that says a lot about your character. And you are not doing anything at all. Y'all are making irrational decisions based on short-term happiness instead of, thinking long-term.
Watching Mia and Christy fight, I'm just like, People get affected by my choices. I get affected by my choices. But at the end of the day, I have to also live with myself, and if nobody else is going to make me happy, I have to do what's going to make me happy.
Again, life revolves around Gypsy.
I've been having a picture of me and my sister in our room since like middle school. And now like she's walking through the house and she's not in a wheelchair no more. You have to like prop them. It's cool. It's weird.
Right after being released from prison, you see Gypsy Rose Blanchard and her sister in a bathroom looking in the mirror talking about makeup, where Gypsy doesn't do anything but stare at herself, talk about her breasts, her butt, her weight, and also staring at Mia very intensely. So when we see Gypsy post this hashtag relationship goals and hashtag Ken and Gypsy, and then it's followed immediately by this post. That's what true love is. It cannot be broken. It cannot be chipped away. It's eternal. It's everlasting. It can weather any storm. It's for no other reason than this, because Andre and Mia have been together for 4 years, which is very ironic because Gypsy and Ken for the past year have had nothing but problems. Unlike the relationship of her half-sister Mia Blanchard and her boyfriend Andre, who genuinely seem to be in deep love with one another. Unlike Gypsy Rose Blanchard, who has utilized Lifetime and photographers to copy Andre and Mia's photographs, even copying the geographical locations of which those photographs were taken by photographers. So why is Gypsy so extremely jealous of Mia and not Nicolette?
I know for a fact, actually, that we don't have everything that we need. So kind of stressed about that. I need my mom, Gypsy. She didn't help at all for the gender reveal, so I don't know how much help she'll be for this.
Gypsy has gone above and beyond to even sabotage Mia.
I told her, I was like, I need this, this, and this from you. And I called her just now, and she doesn't have any of that. It's annoying when I was like, okay, look, these are the things that I need from you. It's not a lot. Can you please do it? And she didn't do it. Time's ticking. Time is ticking.
She would probably be wearing leggings, and if she's gonna show her body, I wanted to too.
That's nice. Sorry, I think them things on your chest are bigger too now.
Well, she's got the flat stomach. She's got the flat stomach, just smaller boobs. But she's got like that athletic build, and I've got that like
hung out with Ken yesterday. Actually, me and Andre hung out with Ken yesterday. Andre said he likes Ken. I like Ken. We were able to spend some time there after our photo shoot. I was live yesterday while I was getting ready a little bit, while I was doing my hair, and Gypsy came in for a minute. But Ken didn't get there until like right before we got back from our photo shoot. So hung out with him and Gypsy while the debate was going, and met his dog Parker. I don't miss Ryan at all. I always looked irritated by him. I'm gonna say like Kim, no comment, LOL.
The reason why she married him. Did she want to love him like he loved her? Of course. But when it's not there, it's not there.
I feel like a failure now that we had all that time to make her feel like she had a place to come to, and she still didn't feel that.
Look, if you would have said, I'm totally against it, no, that's what she wanted you to say. She was craving that from you. But you know how you said, like, I don't want to tell her what to do because that's what her mom did?
I'm just thinking about what you said about why she married Ryan.
It's a hard pill to swallow.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna try not to carry any guilt from that. And I'm not gonna tell her no next time if I don't like it either. She's gotta make her own decision.
You're right, you're right.
I'm not carrying that.
But I know what you're right, exactly.
She might be mad right now, living here. Oh, I should have married Ryan. If I crack down and act like this hard-ass daddy, you know, no, you gotta be home by 10 o'clock.
Right, we wouldn't have told her that, though. We wouldn't have told her she had to be home by 10 o'clock. What the hell are you talking about?
That's the kind of daddy that is, though. The kind that says, no, you can't get married is the kind of daddy that says, no, you gotta be home by 10 o'clock.
No.
I'm not that person.
I know you're not that person. Don't get mad at me.
I'm not, I'm just saying.
No, dude, bruh, let me tell you. You take that anger out on his ass over there in Lake Charles, not on me.
We weren't that close. I mean, I have baby pictures. The last time I seen her until we went visit her in prison was, I was maybe 2. But we would call her for every holiday, her birthday and everything, and her mom would always tell us, don't tell her how old she is. She doesn't realize, like. Yes, I met Aurora, y'all. I literally seen her like 2 days ago. Yes, I met Aurora. I think it was the first one Gypsy called whenever her water broke. Yes, I seen her. I went visit. No, it wasn't a graduation day. Baby was born on the 28th. Yeah. My mom's in Lafayette. My mom drove all the way to Lafayette. And she's been taking care of me. She made me soup. She's changing my bandages. She's doing literally everything I ask of her. So, yes, my mom is taking care of me. My mom would not miss this for the world.
See, that's what makes me. It was like,
Don't cut me off.
birthday and stuff.
Oh, Mia.
It got less and less. Like when they first split.
You played a big role in their thing.
Well, you know, she needed to know the real reason why he ended it.
Did she?
Yes, she did.
He should have told her that, not you. You ever came to me talking about one of my exes while I'm with Andre, like married, like
For real.
Y'all situation's different. She needed closure.
Oh.
And she didn't have it. So I took it upon myself to do it.
Mia is like the only one in this family with like common sense.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that either. He had every right to hate Ken and all that.
Exactly.
He had every single right to let him feel the way that he feels. Then why are you saying that you wouldn't want him talking about Ken like that? That is his feeling.
He has a better understanding.
Oh my gosh.
Mia is the only member of the Blanchard family who has a healthy and loving relationship with her boyfriend Andre, and they have been together for 4 years. This is what enrages Gypsy with jealousy. Also, the fact that Mia says exactly what she thinks and feels with honesty and does not hold back. But Gypsy's drama has caused immense pain between Mia and her parents.
Oh, man, I thought it was Lacombe.
Lancome.
Great, everybody's gonna make fun of me for that.
Did you post that?
Or it's like that weave highlight.
You don't want Chunky.
I don't know what chunky.
Chunky is old.
Yours is chunky.
What was it that you said wrong? And it was a brand. Like,
was
it Morph? Morphe?
Yeah,
I said Morph?
I said Morph, and then I learned that it was Morphe.
Yeah. You cut it yourself?
I cut it myself.
When? Like, whenever you chopped it this
yeah,
short?
when I boxed out.
Oh my, she's gonna...
So I know she's...
Chunky would be like blonde, like just fat chunks. This is like a chunk, but it's money pieces, so that's all. Go live and battle me.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
And Mia does not care if the Lifetime cameras are rolling and if it looks favorable to the family or not. She has been honest, open, and transparent with her mother, her father, and her half-sister, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, even if it makes her lies come to light.
Let's talk about Mia Blanchard, the half-sister of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Yes, I know I already talked about this yesterday in a video, and I already said congratulations, but I just want to say, look at how adorable she looks. She is a weird mix between adorable and beautiful. I can see why Gypsy is jealous of her. I mean, other than the fact that Dad chose to raise her and be in her life and be in Dylan's life and not Nicolette or Gypsy's life. But hey, that's all on him, not her. That's not her fault. But you look at her celebrating graduating with her boyfriend, mom, dad, grandma, friends. You don't see Gypsy dulling her shine. So she's done. She's got her degree. And that's amazing. That absolutely should be celebrated far and wide. That should be what gets somebody notoriety, fame, doing the right thing, being a hard worker, doing all of the things that you want to do in life as an able-bodied person. That's amazing. That is fantastic. And I hope that her future and career is as amazing and as bright as she makes it and wants it to be. But for a second, I just want to share these photos. Because it was wonderful of you to share them on your Instagram, Mia. The irony is not lost on me, the fact that a Blanchard sibling or half-sibling goes on to work in the medical field when they have a half-sister who claims to be abused because of the medical field. You can't make that up. But you know what can be made up? Stories. But this is a true story. This is a good story. This is a positive story. This is one that should give you all of the accolades, all of the attention, all of the press, the fame, the notoriety, the congratulations, the love. But rarely does it ever work that way. But let's talk about the fact that if these two get married, they're going to have the most beautiful kids, and it's just going to be another reason for her half-sibling to be extremely jealous. Because if they end up having a little boy and 2 girls, they're going to be the cutest mother effers you've probably ever seen. Because these two would produce gorgeous children. Like, better looking than they are. Separate or as a couple. They're just so cute as a couple. You can see it. You can see the vibe. You could feel it permeating from these vibrant, saturated photos. So I absolutely love this for Mia. Being with her better half, finishing and getting her degree, starting her forever life and her career. So congratulations, Mia. The world is your oyster. Devour it slowly and savor every taste.
I've been very jealous of my sister.
So much so that it goes above and beyond healthy and normal sibling jealousy and rivalry. She copies Mia, mimics Mia, even borrows her clothes to try and look like Mia. She stalks her social media to see how people are reacting to her very beautiful half-sister Mia, and then tries to replicate that. But Mia is as equally intelligent as she is beautiful, and she has taken a step back away from the Lifetime cameras and her half-sister because of the drama. It has been a year and a half since Gypsy Rose Blanchard has been released from prison, and it has taken an immense toll on the family dynamics behind the scenes. I am fully convinced now that this is a kink of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, that this gets her off in some weird way, because she loves to cause arguments with her drama and her manipulation and lies between Mia and both of her biological parents, Christy Blanchard and Rod Blanchard, to whom they share a biological father. Gypsy has even gone as far as telling Lifetime cameras on national television that, of course, Aurora is going to have a grandmother. She's going to have Christy, and even calling Christy Mom, ultimately forcing Christy's hand and her reputation into helping her with Aurora and being an active grandmother, because we all know that they were not actively there for Gypsy growing up, at least not for the first 24 years of her life. She's even taken away precious time from their other children, Dylan and Nicolette, including Mia, by forcing Christy to have to babysit Aurora so she can go to Jazz Fest.
This I wore last night. Actually, me and Andre went for drinks. This one was $16.99. So cute. I didn't even get to try this one on because the line was so long that I didn't want to lose my spot. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just buy it and hopefully it fits. Seen that while I was checking out, like in the line.
So what is it that really drives Gypsy Rose Blanchard's behavior? Her emotional, mental, psychological, and even physical intimate manipulation and lies of everybody that is in her life. Her friends, her half-siblings, her relatives, her dad, her stepmother, and even her ex-husband and her current boyfriend / baby daddy. What would drive a 34-year-old woman to be so jealous of her very aesthetically beautiful younger half-sister who is successful by her own hard work, to cause so much disarray, damage, trauma, and toxicity to her half-sibling's life? So much to the point where she has to take a step back, that Mia, to protect her mental, emotional, and physical well-being, has to set healthy boundaries in place, including not partaking in the Lifetime series as much as she once did. Is it because Mia is seeing the truth behind Gypsy's lies? Sociopaths, often characterized by a lack of empathy and remorse, can exhibit manipulative and exploitative behaviors in their relationships, including with siblings. This can manifest as jealousy and rivalry, though it is often driven by a need for control and an absence of genuine emotional connection, according to Psychology Today and Quora. While sibling rivalry is a common human experience, a sociopathic sibling's behaviors can be particularly damaging and harmful, often rooted in a lack of conscience and disregard for the feelings of others. Manipulative jealousy. Sociopaths may use jealousy as a tool to control their siblings, often by exaggerating or fabricating rivalries to manipulate situations or to gain attention. Sounds very similar to Munchausen syndrome or Munchausen syndrome by internet. Lack of empathy. A core feature of sociopathy is a lack of empathy, making it difficult for them to understand or share the emotional distress of their siblings. Exploitative behavior. They may exploit their siblings for personal gain, using them as pawns in their own games or benefiting from their insecurities and vulnerabilities. Reduced emotional connection. Instead of genuine sibling bonds, sociopathic individuals often maintain a superficial and transactional relationship with their siblings, solely focused on the self-benefit that they receive from that superficial bond and from their exploitation of that relationship. Physical and psychological abuse. In some cases, sociopathic individuals may engage in physical or psychological abuse to assert dominance or control over their siblings. Damage to siblings' identity. The manipulative and controlling behaviors of a sociopathic sibling can significantly impact a sibling's sense of self, leading to low self-esteem, depression, and anxiety. In summary, while jealousy is normal and it is a normal human emotion, for sociopathic individuals, jealousy can be a manipulative tactic used to control and exploit their siblings, often causing lasting damage to the siblings' well-being. And this means not only physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically.
She taught me how to be a good liar. A very good liar without any conscience. And I'm changing that. I'm trying to be a good person now. I don't want to be like my mother, and I'm nothing like her.
This is what's very misleading about Gypsy, is that her body language and even the things that she says doesn't match what she's trying to convince you to believe. As she says this on Dr. Phil, she shakes her head in a no motion, but what's even more concerning is how she says that she is trying to not be like her mom and that she's trying to change while simultaneously saying, I am nothing like her, trying to make you believe that she is nothing like her. However, she proceeds that directly by slandering and defaming Nicholas Godejohn and trying to negate her culpability and responsibility in the fact that she committed first-degree premeditated homicide. And we also can ask the question, well, yeah, you're worse than your mom because your mom never took anybody's life, which is the worst crime a human can commit against another human. Secondary USA or adultery. Speaking of her lies, her manipulation, and her jealousy, and what she's done to Ryan, Ryan just posted this today, an update for everybody who has been supporting him after Gypsy told the world that he is on MAT medication.
Hey guys, it's me, Ryan. So I just joined Cameo. I thought I'd give it a shot. The link is in my profile. Check it out. Book now. I do birthdays, anniversaries, just hit me up.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard's sister Mia Blanchard graduated from nursing school this weekend in Chow. They collectively decided that Gypsy Rose Blanchard would not be at that graduation because they didn't want her graduation to turn into a circus. Akash and Bara Singh, and they don't want to have to deal with that. I'm sure Mia didn't want her there regardless. The truth is, Mia's struggle to find a nursing job is largely due to the circus-like atmosphere that surrounds Gypsy. Do you recall the scene where Mia, her dad, and her mom were smiling in front of the movie theater during the premiere of Mommy, Dead, and Dearest? It was a stark reminder of the family she comes from and their acceptance of the situation. For hospitals, Mia represents a significant liability. They are in the business of healing, not dealing with potential litigation. The fact that her sister's case is so notorious and her family was so publicly involved in it makes her a risky hire. Hospitals are not willing to take that chance. Despite the shortage of nurses, I would be surprised if Mia finds a job soon, given the public scrutiny and her behavior on the show last season. She's young and may have made mistakes, but it's hard to ignore the impact of her family's history on her career. Moreover, do you remember when she talked about wanting to be like Hugh Hefner during the height of the P. Diddy situation? It's moments like these that make her seem less professional and more of a liability. I'm not saying Mia isn't a sweet girl, but considering her family background, she should have been more careful with her public image. It's a tough situation, and she needs to work hard to overcome the challenges her family has brought upon her.
I'm really interested to see what everybody else has to say about the relationship and the dynamics between Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Mia Blanchard. And what do you all think? Because it looks like she took a really big step back for season 2 of her show, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, Life After Lockup. You see her really take a step back because she was focused on herself and focused on graduating from nursing school. But the jealousy has always been very present, especially when Christy recently said on an episode on season 2 that Mia was the perfect child. She was the one child she didn't have to worry about because she always made the good choice, the right choice. That she was so proud of Mia because she knew that she had the potential and that she had finally reached it, and that it is a beautiful thing and a beautiful feeling to see her daughter grow to reach that full potential. That particular episode, Gypsy Rose Blanchard went live on Instagram and on TikTok using 2 totally different devices to do so. And you just see when that part comes up, her face is writhing with hatred, with anger, with rage, with deep jealousy. But Gypsy, as far as manipulation goes, she definitely knows what she is doing because she is using an entire network and TV show along with 9.6 million followers on TikTok to control her family and half-siblings, while she is simultaneously trying to copy Mia every chance she gets. And then she goes on to do this, to cause a deep argument between Christy and Mia, and sits back and laughs. And I spoke about this over a year ago because I knew something was wrong here. Mia goes on to say, a little different thing between Ryan and Ken for me is that Ken knew that Gypsy was still married. She goes on to say, where is your respect for Ryan? You might not like the guy at all, but that for me says a lot about your character. And I don't feel like he was trying to protect Gypsy in the best way. How are you protecting her from what these people are going to say about her? How are you protecting her from what the world is going to think of her? You are not doing anything at all. Y'all are making irrational decisions based on short-term happiness instead of, long-term.
Watching Mia and Christy fight, I'm just like, People get affected by my choices. I get affected by my choices. But at the end of the day, I have to also live with myself. And if nobody else is going to make me happy, I have to do what's going to make me happy.
In this part, she talks about how she and Ken met, how they were prison pen pals, how they were engaged, and how he left her for almost 6 years to be with another woman. She also says that, her drama affects other people, but, she's got to make herself happy if nobody else is going to do it. That's the problem, is that things that make Gypsy happy and the things that she wants change day to day. They never remain the same. And so all of this chaos, all of this erratic and impulsive behavior comes at a cost, not to just herself, but to the people that love her, the people that support her, the people around her. And it's not only making a mockery of them, it's defaming them. It's harming their reputations as well. It's making them look bad on national television. And Gypsy couldn't care less. The same exact way she couldn't care less about doing this all on national television and rubbing it in Ryan's face. And now we know the truth. We know what she was doing the whole entire time. She has been keeping Ryan Anderson on a string the entire time, giving him a little glimmer of hope that she might come back to him one day, and just leaving that safety net there in case things don't work out with Ken, which tells us that Flawless Nina was correct. They did break up, and they have broken up more than once. Things are not always sunny in paradise. And you know what they say? Be careful what you wish for, because the grass always looks greener from the other side. And you know what they say? Water your own grass.
Okay, I put these clips in a way so that way you can understand in a fuller context the relationship between Gypsy and Ryan and Gypsy and Ken. Now, I have not spoken about this, but the thing that really bothers me about these clips is where Gypsy laughs. She actually laughs after she causes, with her actions, choices, words, and behaviors, her dramas and her life actually causes destabilization, disarray, and damage between her stepmom and her sister. Now, we know that she's jealous of Mia because she said it more than once. But that she sits back and laughs and then goes on to say, but I have to live with the choices that I make. And if nobody's going to make me happy, then I have to make myself happy. You do have the civil, the constitutional, and the basic human right to pursue your own happiness, Gypsy. You do. And nobody is trying to deny you that or take that from you. But it's your own actions, words, choices, and behaviors that is leading me to voice my opinion and say, you pursuing your own happiness does not come above and before anybody else's rights. It doesn't come above and before treating other people with care and decency and love and respect, especially to their emotional health and mental health, and even their physical health. You pursuing your own happiness doesn't come at the cost and the price of other people's rights being infringed on, or them being hurt and damaged and disposed of, and even further abused. And so I just got to say, I'm not okay with none of that. And the whole laughing part because you think it's funny that your life and your drama is actively causing this disarray and destabilization between a mother and a daughter is very telling. Is very telling. Your child is not even here yet, and yet your child is coming into the world in a very similar circumstance as you did. And that's a very bad way to start life for a child. Because for somebody that speaks about love and finding love and not deserving love and blaming your mom, who's been deceased for over 9 years, for this curse, for why you'll never be happy, instead of bringing it back to the fact that it's your own words, your own choices, your own actions, and your own behaviors that is causing this inconsistency, this erraticness, this impulsive. Because what makes you happy changes. It's based on a whim, on whatever satisfies you in the here and the now. And that is inconsistent and forever changing. So that's why you're inconsistent and forever changing. But you don't realize that it's other people having to live with the residual negative effects of what you do, what you say, what you choose, and how you behave. And that fundamentally is not okay and doesn't sit well with people at all. Because this is the same exact thing that we saw you do to Nicholas go to John. And when Ken left you and there was no cameras around, and then he comes back and says, well, I've never done anything like this before. Of course you haven't, Ken. Of course you haven't done anything like this before. You haven't dated anybody with the kind of infamy and national attention and subscribers and followers that Gypsy has before. In fact, I would probably gather that's what got you to start writing her in the first place. And then when it didn't benefit you, you suddenly dumped her. Because it certainly wasn't love keeping you there. Now, Ryan was good enough for her. He was good enough to give her money, put money on her phone, on her books, on her commissary to come see her, good enough to marry for 3 years, to be paroled to live with him, to give her every wish and to cater to every whim that she had. But he's not good enough to treat decently. He's not good enough to give any care or caution or concern to his emotional, mental health. Committing adultery and getting pregnant, filing for divorce, sudden abandonment, that's a lot for somebody to go through. But it doesn't matter because you're pursuing your own happiness. Because if nobody's going to make you happy, you get the right to do it, right? So that's the excuse. I don't think there is an excuse. I don't think there is an and, a reason, an if, a but that condones or justifies treating people like that. So Ken is now in your life and he's treating Ryan like that. And you're doing it on a global multiple global platforms. This is global humiliation that Ryan has to face. And then now he has to be on the birth certificate and undergo a DNA test and have the birth certificate amended. Isn't that very similar to what you went through when you came into the world, and now a baby is coming into the world like that? This is already starting this child's life off with such not good, not stable, consistent, safe, healthy, long-term at all. And your sister is the only voice of reason in your life. And I'm sure that's because she does love you and care about you. But instead, you think it's funny to cause her and her mom to have mental and emotional and verbal arguments that are very heated. And that That's what you're doing to your family and the people that are in your sphere. Now, when the truth is just the truth, and anybody that speaks the truth or voices their opinion, we're doxxed, we're called evil, we're harassed, we're stalked, we're given death threats, we're told that we're crazy, and all of these other things. But the truth is the truth, and the truth hurts. But the truth also sets you free. It sets you free from this fake victim narrative that is going on. Because even if that was true, it does not give her the right to fundamentally, in such a negative way, impact other people. So I am not okay with any of the dynamic between her and Ryan and her and Ken. At all. That's the opposite of love. What Gypsy is showing to everybody is that she doesn't know what love is. She doesn't know what happiness is. Everything she does is selfish. And love is compromise. Love is self-sacrifice. Love is selflessness. Because you love somebody and who they are and what they are, their quirks and everything about them, that you want to do that to make it work. You cannot force somebody else to make you happy if you can't make yourself happy. You can't put the weight and the burden and expectation of somebody else loving you when you cannot love yourself. And that's how you know the difference. That somebody doesn't actually know what love is. And she's bringing a child into this world without having done the groundwork and the field work.
She taught me how to be a good liar, a very good liar without any conscience.
Rod, don't you think that your daughter should be out of the spotlight after everything's coming on, though? You're the one. You're the one who said that. You said that yourself. You said that, Gypsy, you think that she should get out of the spotlight and stuff and just settle down. Like, why are you still letting her just get around here and doing all that?
Well, look, Gypsy's a grown woman. I have no control of her. I tried to give her good advice. I told her I thought it was a great idea that she get out of prison and kind of fade it. I don't care if she gets a job at McDonald's or whatever. We're going to be here supporting her with or without me. We're always going to be here for her. I wasn't always here for her. I made a lot of mistakes. I believed a lot of crap did to her and said to me about her. I try to defend my wife. Kristen has been there, yes, more than me, many times. I was a terrible father. I had a lot on my plate. I had kids with Christy, Dee, somebody else. I spent 75% of my life offshore on a boat trying to provide for these families. So, yeah, I wasn't there. I missed a lot of meals, birthdays. I missed a lot on everything. I really just was scared. 17 years old, I had 2 girls pregnant. I ran. I went to get a job on the boat, got my license, and worked my ass off.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, turn on notifications, and